StreamYard, so am I, but
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
good evening, everyone. My name is Brian, and with me always is,
I'm Mark.
and we are talking shit.
Talking shit.
And with us tonight, we have a very special guest and a very special episode, Mark. John from the Basement Surge. John,
Yes.
how are you?
Yes.
Good. Thank you very much, guys, for having me on. I really
Hey, man, we
appreciate
appreciate the opportunity to have you on.
it. Yeah, anytime.
Cool. We decided we were just going to have a quick little episode here, and we're going to talk about our generation, Generation X.
We're going to talk about our childhood. What the hell? Why not?
So basically, what we're offering right now, John, is it seems like we're giving you the psychiatric treatment
Yeah.
from the talking shit couch. So
Yeah. Normally, psychologists think that it's the mom or the dad's fault, like why we're messed up. So,
No, mine was because of my friends,
oh,
Brian.
easy killer, easy. Mine was because
how long
my
do you guys know each other?
Oh,
Since
God.
the 7th grade.
Really?
Yeah, we both.
we're
we
old
both-
now, so
We both joined the Canto Middle School. I think it was about 2 weeks apart from each other.
yeah.
He thought I was well, no, let you tell that story.
So here's the thing, John. Mark is about 4'5".
5'4". Get it right.
Oh, my bad. He's
Back
5'4"
then,
now.
back then, I was like 3 foot nothing.
I literally was sitting in the cafeteria one day by myself because I had no friends. I had no life, right? And I look over and there's this third grader just walking across the cafeteria. I was like, what the hell is going on right now? Is there like a tour? I'm looking around. I'm looking for teachers. Is there a tour going on? And I think at some point, did you come over to me or did I go over to you?
Actually, John, a friend of ours, told us that I was in his homeroom, and I came up to John to say hi, just because that's the only one I knew at the time. And you looked at me and said, "What?"
Yeah, like I literally thought you were joking.
Yes. And he looked at me and said, "Hey, you think you're in the wrong school. The primary school's next door."
Well, listen, then I thought he was like the Doogie Howser of like one of those special kids that are like, hey, you're really in the third grade, but you're super accelerated.
Yeah,
to
I
the
would've
point
went-
where you get to be in middle
that
school.
kind of special.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Not the kind of special that, Brian actually is.
Well, let's talk about that. Guys, how do you think that we got to this point in our life? John, you said you were born in 1980,
83.
83. I was born in 77.
77. Both were
And
born in
Mark is 77. So we are all in that Gen
Yeah,
X.
you're only 5 months older than me.
We're all in that Gen X category.
Yeah.
We grew up in the time of, and we talked about this just before the show started. We literally would play hide and go seek until a parent came to find us because
I'd be quite honest. I'd still do it if I could run.
I'd still do it if I had friends.
That too.
Now we just do it throughout the internet. It's like a new thing where you can go and talk about people, and then you can just run and hide from them.
Yeah, just disappear. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now,
Yeah.
I taught my kids that drinking out of a water hose was not a bad thing.
Right.
When you're in the country, pee outside. I used to let my kids ride in the back of my truck, not down no main highway or anything like that, all the back roads, stuff like that. Stuff I used to do. And my son loved it as a kid. Now, well, he doesn't leave his room. But I had fun, with my kids. I taught them the same stuff I did until they learned what a stupid cell phone was and what computers and video games were.
Yeah.
And then everything went to hell.
I think cell phones are truly destroying this generation.
Computers
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah,
To be
just
honest.
technology. They're too absorbed. My son, he's 7. I have a 7-year-old son. He gets up in the morning. The first thing he grabs is the Nintendo Switch.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, no, get off the Switch. Let's eat some breakfast. Maybe watch some cartoons. Get ready for school. I think it shortens their attention span.
Yeah, so I mean, when we were younger, like a pacifier was what we had when we were babies, and then as we got into our toddler, okay, well, I'm sorry about that, Mark. That's not my fault. I didn't take it away from you.
No, my
but
mom
as
wouldn't
we
allow us to have one.
well, when we got into our toddler years, what did you guys have to pacify your time? The pacifier is gone. What did you guys
I
have?
have a little dog, a little brown and white dog that's like this. It's a stuffed animal, and I still have it to this day, that I used to sleep with and carry around with me everywhere. And I still have the thing. I don't sleep with it anymore.
Sure,
Your wife might think that's rude.
No, that's what she just said, lie. But that was my security. Always was my security, was that little dog.
What about you, John? What did you have? What is, and do you still have it? Is it, I mean,
I had a teddy when I was little, but I don't have it anymore. But it was a teddy bear that someone gave me when I was born, and then I had it until I want to say when I was like 8 or 9, and then I lost it. After that, I had like a whole bunch of action figures, and that's what kept my time.
G.I. Joe's for me is what. Listen, I'm telling you, G.I. Joe and Transformer. If those got taken away from us when it was me and my cousin, when we were younger, my cousin was 2 years older than I was, right?
Mm.
If those toys got taken away from us, you might as well have taken my cell phone and smashed it on the ground.
The only thing that I ever got taken away from me was TV. When I had that taken away, that was because back then, that after school we'd come home, watch cartoons and stuff. That was that was my babysitter. So my mom would, if we got bad grades or something like that, it was mainly me or my sister. We'd get in trouble. My older brother, he never got in trouble, but with my mom.
Oh no.
No, because he's special needs. I mean, no, no, he's he just never. It just seemed like he never got caught at stuff, or she didn't want to see it. One of the two.
And my question to that, Mark, is: was he the oldest? Was he the first?
Yeah.
So there you go. Like, I'm the oldest, and it was different for me and my family because I had half brothers and sisters that I grew up with, right? So there was 4 of us, 5 of us at a time living in a house, and I was always to blame for everything that they did. I don't know if that happened with you guys. John, do you have brothers and sisters?
I'm lucky enough to be an only child, but at the same time, it's like I grew up. See, and this is a problem. Okay, so this is a problem I had when I first started having kids, because I grew up an only child. I never learned really that well how to share, So when I started having kids, like my wife came with 3 kids. So right away I was a dad of 3, right? And she had little kids. So I was like, all right, well, I still have the toys that I had from when I was a little kid. I still have my He-Man action figures and, my Thundercats, and all that.
Oh, whoa. Awesome.
So, and my wife would be like, well, let the kids play with your toys, and I kept them down the basement over here. Right. And I was like, no, those are mine. I'm not sharing with the kids. Like they want to play with toys. They can get their own, Those are mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's about the same as, I had two little girls, but I gave them whatever they wanted as long as it wasn't my stuff. Yeah, yeah, because you're absolutely right.
No. Madison could charm her ass and
Oh,
make
come
you
on,
make
both
you.
of them, it.
Yes. Madison
The
always
both of 'em.
charmed your ass big time. But look, I have toys. My little nephew comes over here, Mason,
Yeah.
and he's looking at him like I want to play with him. I'm like, oh hell no, you're not touching them.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that one day I can sell them for more than what they're worth.
Mark, you're gonna leave that office one day, and I'm telling you, boxes are getting opened.
Oh no, nobody
Yeah.
touches them.
I mean, forget it. My 4-year-old daughter was down here earlier today, and she was right behind me back there playing with whatever was on those shelves. And I was like, you know what? No, stop. Like, go back upstairs, leave it alone. Don't touch it, because I like, those are camera lenses in the middle shelf there.
Oh yeah.
So it's expensive stuff. I'm like, no, like, they're not toys. And I got a few things. I have like
He's got the championships belts back there. What are they?
I do. Those are actual wrestling belts that me and my friends used to wrestle for when we were teenagers.
Cool.
So those are up there. And then down here, right there, is a Lego Mandalorian helmet that, I love and I don't want anybody destroying.
Oh, right.
And then I have some what the hell are they called? The pop action figures.
Yeah,
with the big heads.
Funko Pops, or
Yeah, those
Funko Pops.
Yeah, of Superman, Batman. I'm a huge comic book fan, so
am I.
Yeah.
I mainly like DC though.
There you go.
Yeah, because my favorite character is Nightwing.
Nightwing.
Yes,
Okay.
He's my favorite. Most people, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. No, hell no. I like Nightwing, and I don't know. It's just something about his character that just drew me to him.
Awesome.
I don't know, man. Mine was, I think mine growing up was 100% Superman.
His was My Little Pony.
Yeah, like
See?
Yeah, I was such a huge comic book fan growing up that I literally learned how to draw Superman. I learned how to draw Batman, basically the whole Justice League. And growing up, it was like my dream to become a comic book artist.
That'd be pretty badass.
And so through the years, I got really good. Like I'm a really good artist, and I started my own 2 years ago. I started my own comic book company, an independent publishing company. And I got my own book published with my own character and everything. And I had a professional comic book artist work on the cover of my book. His name escapes me for this. I can't.
What's the name of your comic?
The name of the guy his name is Athos. Yeah. And
what is it?
Athos.
Athos.
Yep. And he's like an alien hybrid human kind of thing that lives on the moon and gets his power from radiation. And it's a really cool story. But I stopped working with the company and I'm not making the book anymore. I only came out with one issue of the book during that time, so it's a long story. But I'm a huge comic book fan. I make my own books. I draw a lot. I have I'm an accomplished artist. So
I am not an accomplished artist. I am really bad at everything that I do.
Oh. I should talk. Mine looks like a little, it just
Mark draws the best stick figures in the world because that's what he can do. Like
I've been trying to find an artist that can draw a figure for me of my friend who passed away holding her grandson, but I can't find somebody was supposed to do it for me. They started it but never finished it.
Yeah, that's a hard one, Mark. You're gonna have
well
to
I've always wanted one with my father in the background with my kids and me, but that's also harder to do.
See, and that's the thing is that like I can draw comic books, but I can't draw like real people. Like real people is just
interesting.
Yeah.
the features and stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
over
to get the match like of how a person looks, it's just
Yeah,
too
it's
complicated.
hard. It's hard to get some of the features right. But
Yeah.
comic books, it's a little bit, you don't have to go into all the other type of features.
Right.
All right, so let's get back to talking about what we did when we were kids.
This is how we do our segments. We
Well,
start
yeah,
on a topic and we get off topic and go back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your guys' show is a lot like mine.
It's because we have ADHD, I think.
Yeah,
I have AD and he has the HD. So
yeah,
nice.
huge dick. Is that what it is?
oh my,
You said HD, so
we were talking about that last night. I kept joking. I was like, Mark's short and everything, but dude, he's rocking a Pringles can.
Yeah, that episode is no longer existing.
Yeah, that show is off.
We got offhand. We were a little in the beginning of the show. We were a little, a little pissed, and then.
Well, listen. At the end of the day, I'm not allowed to play music on here, I guess. And I was.
We
I
have
was
to go a
rocking out
different. I think we have to go a different route of playing the music.
I don't
instead.
understand the problem. It's already on YouTube. I'm just bringing it over to our show. That's all I'm doing.
Because it only in certain. We are very popular in Turkey. I'm telling you.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know how that happened.
Most of our subscribers are from Turkey. And I think over there they have certain laws that they can't use certain music.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Hi,
Mark was
Angie. How you
Turkish.
doing? I don't know who Angie is, but hi.
Angie is one of our past guests, a good friend of ours. She came on here and she did a few readings.
Oh, okay.
She's a tarot card reader.
Yeah, be careful though, because there's a lot of things out there you may not want to hear.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just saying.
But I'm still going to prove her wrong that I am leaving Florida.
Whatever.
You're in Florida?
Yes.
That's where we live.
We both live
really?
in Florida. Yeah, we both live in Florida in about 3-4 miles from 5
Yeah,
miles?
about 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
Oh, I lived in Florida for like 5 years. Where are you guys at?
We're
Citrus
in
County.
Citrus County.
Oh, I was by Daytona.
That's about an hour and a half drive.
Yeah, it's the other coast.
Yeah, New Smyrna Beach.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I go
love
there.
that.
I go there
Yes.
once every 6 months
New Smyrna is
to that
really
side.
good. It's really
Nice.
pretty there.
Nice. I love Florida. I had a good time down there.
You're in New York now, is that right?
Yeah, now I'm from New York. I live in New York. Like this building, I grew up in this building, so it's my home.
So how did you come up with the name Basement Surge?
Well, he's in a basement. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And he was probably surging on something at the time.
Well, you know what? 1 second.
Uh-oh.
Surge energy. That's happening.
Okay,
Surge
so-
energy.
So, when I started the show, The Basement Surge, I started it with a co-host, a good friend of mine that I grew up with, kind of like you guys. And he and I, we were perfect together. He and I are brothers. Like we banter perfectly off of each other, and so we grew up together. And this room that I'm in right now is where we basically hung out all of our teenage years. All of like anything important that happened to us happened in this basement. So when we started the show, we were trying to think of a name, and it had to be Basement something. And during the time, I think it was like 96, that the summer of 96, we were hanging out down here. And the only thing that we would ever drink was a soda called Surge.
Yes, I remember that soda.
Okay. And it's made by Coca-Cola. They don't make it anymore. This is the last of the cans that
they don't make it anymore because people had heart problems from it because they didn't stop drinking it so much.
I don't understand, dude. It's said on the can. Did it say on the can, do not consume more than 2? Doesn't it say that on there?
No,
No.
and it was not marketed as an energy drink.
Wow.
No, it was marketed for truck drivers though at
Yeah.
first.
It's got 69 milligrams of caffeine in it
Yeah, I consume that more in a day.
and 56 grams of sugar. But so we used to drink Surge every day, all the time. So we were like, hey, the basement Surge, and then I just tried playing around with different ways to market the name. Like, ever since we started, we've been using the hashtag on socials, Feel the Surge, and it just took off. Oh,
cool.
Yeah,
That's good. Now, where can people find your podcast? I know when I watched it, right across the top of your screen, you have your logos.
Yeah. So the podcast is available on all major podcast listening apps. It's basically on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that. But you can also follow us on YouTube and Twitter and all that. But I'm really trying to build up the YouTube channel. Like, I really, really want to build up YouTube. So I've been trying to think of like stupid video ideas to throw up there, and it's just it's working out a little bit, but not as quickly as I would like. So.
I like that. On top of that, I like how he's got that.
Yes, Mark, you're supposed to work on doing that same thing for us.
Hey, I'm slowly learning more and more stuff. Okay, it takes time.
Eventually, Mark will get it.
So I'm gonna take the show over. Okay.
Okay.
Is that all right with you?
Yeah, let's go.
Can you hear the music? You can?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So put me full screen.
You got it, Mark? Mark, full screen, bud. He can't figure it out.
No?
Mark.
What?
Can you figure out how to put them on full screen?
That's the best I can do is what's right there. Oh,
all right, everybody. I'm hanging out on Talking Shit with these guys, and it's going to be another great episode where we're just bullshitting and talking about nothing. So stay tuned, and I'll see you after the intro.
Let's go. Turn up the volume. From the basement of the Empire State. This
I love this intro.
Surge.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Basement Surge. All right,
you definitely drank some Surge before you came.
Take me off the full screen. Come on.
What happened, Mark?
Let me kill that music. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. No, I told Mark I love this intro. I loved your intro.
Yeah. It's
How were you not able to get him on the full screen? Like,
he was on full screen on mine.
Oh, he
Yeah.
wasn't. Were you on full screen? Because I saw the whole thing still. Like, we were still
Yeah,
in
I
this
still
layout.
seen a little bit of the background, but it's
Huh.
fine. Yeah, no big deal.
I don't know. I was trying to figure it out. I don't have that down there at the bottom of my screen anymore, so that has went away for me. So
Yeah.
That's cool. So games that you used to play when you were a kid. Let's get back on topic, boys.
Oh. Game. Okay.
Games. Well, I mean, I used to play a game with my brother. He used to shoot me with the BB gun. I would
That's not a
stand there.
game. That's attempted murder.
Oh, wait a minute. Another one I used to play with my brother is he'd hit me with a 2x4 with a nail in it and blame it on my sister.
There you go.
Oh no, that's actually happened. My brother hit me with a 2x4 with a nail in it, split my ear wide open. I had to get like 10 stitches in it, and he told me to blame it on my sister.
Damn.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
I'm
we
glad
didn't.
I didn't have any siblings.
Let's see here. What else? I mean, other than that, freeze tag. Freeze tag was a good one when I lived at the trailer park in Michigan. We used to play that.
Mark lost that one a lot.
No,
He's got those short, stubby legs. He's got like the what's that little the corgi legs.
Yeah. That's
Come
my
on,
son.
Mark. If you can't laugh at
Ouch.
if you can't laugh at you can't laugh at me either. So
Hey,
there you
are you getting to? Are you gonna get some solar panels up here?
no, I bounced the sun off my head so it's free for you guys to have solar energy at your house. I'm just letting you know.
Nice.
I don't got solar energy. Damn.
So growing up, boys, we had in my yard, we had a barrel.
A barrel. Wow.
Like a sealed, empty barrel. And myself, my cousin Raymond, and
You
my
went
cousin
down.
Tammy,
You went down a hill, didn't you? In it.
we would climb on top of this thing. And you know the log rolling thing that you watch on like the History
Yeah.
Channel and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That's the game that we used to play. Knock each other off the barrel. I was terrible at this game. I got ran over by the barrel several times.
Now, King of the Mountain was another one, but I did lose that one a lot. We'd get on a big ass pile of sand, and yeah, I lost.
Wow. I didn't
Now-
have any of that. I didn't have like big piles of dirt. I had like, we used to play a game called Horse, like basketball. You ever
Yeah.
hear of it? Yeah. But we used to play with, we didn't have a basketball hoop. We played with garbage cans.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You got to
My
make do
ver-
with something, right?
My very first one was a bucket for a basketball rim. I got a bucket, cut out the bottom, stuck it to a tree.
Nice. Yeah, we don't have many trees.
Well, are you in the city?
Yeah, I'm kind of like in not in the city. I'm like a half-hour train ride away from New York City. So I'm like
Okay.
kind of in the suburbs, but like we don't have a lot of trees. It's very
It's
very
wide
cook-
open.
Yeah, it's very cookie cutter houses like right next
Sure.
to each other. So
So I've been to the city. I've been to New York. I used to live in Jersey.
okay.
So when somebody would, hey, do you guys want to go to the city? They were 100% talking about New York City. So we'd have
Yeah.
to go over the bridge, pay a bunch of money because it's expensive. The tolls there are ridiculous, dude.
Well, you drove?
What's the Verrazano up to now? Do you know?
Wow, look at you. You know the name of the bridge.
Come on now.
It's up to $16.
$16.
Yeah.
I
Holy
remember. I want to
shit.
say, because we got lost one time. We had to go over the Verrazano Bridge twice. We went over. We found this like little museum looking area, and I was like, "All right, we're just gonna go visit this place."
Yeah.
And it was closed, so we couldn't go and explore and do that. So we had to turn around and come back because the place where we needed to be was on the other side. And I want to say it cost us $7 each way, and I was like, "This is ridiculous, dude."
Yeah.
maybe $8, and I was like, "Man, that's crazy."
Yeah.
How long were you in-
I remember when it was like $6-7, and and then I think over a span of like a couple days, they were like, all right, well, it's like $15 now, and we were like, what? And and then like a month or two later, it went up another dollar, so it's like $16.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
I would assume by another 5 years, it's going to be $20.
Oh,
Less than 5 years?
Yeah, I'll say 25.
You think
You want-
$25?
Yeah, nobody
How-
want to go.
How old is that bridge? Do you know, John? The Verrazano is a very old bridge, right?
yeah. I mean, no, I don't know off the top of my head.
I got to do a little research now. Now I want to know. That's like that. The Lincoln Tunnel is an older passageway. Lincoln Tunnel was, I think Lincoln Tunnel was about $5 to go through that.
See, I've heard
back
of
in the
Lincoln
day.
Tunnel. But
Oh,
I've
here we
never
go.
been there.
The Verrazano opened up November 21st, 1964.
64. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's that's the 2-story bridge. I am accurate on that, right? Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a 2-story bridge, Mark.
Yeah.
It has
goes
2
from-
levels to it.
It
It's
goes from
great.
Brooklyn.
Well, I've
Island.
seen 2-level bridges before, but damn, that's still just to go over a bridge. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. We try not to go into Staten Island. We try to avoid it.
If you're gonna go to Staten Island, guys, just make sure you don't go over the Verrazano Bridge. Swim if you have to.
Yeah, take the ferry.
Take the ferry. I think swimming will only probably cost you a leg and an arm. So
Yeah, we have sharks.
Yeah.
you have sharks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would think so. It's water.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I never thought that we had sharks like up here in New York until like recently. My wife told me like there was a shark down in Coney Island Beach, and I was like, "What?" That's like right over here, and I was just surprised. Like, there's great white sharks.
We're never surprised when we get them around us.
Well, see,
yeah, I mean, you're in Florida.
Yeah, we play touch the alligator nose on purpose. Like other people are like, "Oh my god," and we're like, "Oh yeah, watch this."
Yeah, my wife and I watched that show Swamp People.
Yes.
So there's a spinoff show of Swamp People called Swamp People Serpent Invasion. Have you seen that show?
No, I haven't.
So they hunt pythons down in the Everglades.
Yeah, see, no.
And one of my guests that I'm still, Bill, if you're watching, trying to get on the show is a good customer of mine, and I'm still trying to get him on the show so we could talk about Bill Booth outdoors. So,
Dude, hold on. Okay, he's a customer of yours, but yeah, you couldn't get Tyreek Hill on here, and he was a customer of yours too?
No, he wasn't a customer of mine. He was a customer of our store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where do you work?
So I work for a company called Love Motorsports. I work. So what I'd like to tell my friends, I sell adult toys.
Nice. You're
So
my kind of guy.
Side by sides, 4-wheelers, wave runners, those kind of adult toys.
Awesome.
Yeah, when he first told me he was going to start selling adult toys, that's not what I said. I said, "So, do you got a magazine so we can look at some?" And he was like, "No, not those type." Oh, okay. He's been trying ever since he's got this job for me to come up there to buy a 4-wheeler from him. Yeah, well, that went out the door when Social Security cut my check.
It's all right. You'll come and get one eventually.
Yeah,
I'm not too concerned.
Maybe before I leave Florida. You never know.
You're not going to leave.
He's not leaving.
I am leaving Florida.
Not leaving.
Where are you going to go?
I don't know.
You got room in the basement?
No. No, we're looking at Tennessee, Kentucky area.
Okay. All right. I know a couple people in Kentucky. Let me know.
Mark's trying to learn how to play the banjo as well. So
Hey,
there's that.
I have family there.
I also know a movie producer that I just did an episode with. You guys can do like a spin-off of Deliverance if you want.
Yep.
See, and this is how we get off subject of it.
Yeah.
It happens, dude. I mean, listen, my brother takes Adderall and I want some.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing about a playground? What was your favorite
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, mine was definitely the swing. Or no, the spinny thing.
The merry-go-round?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I love doing that, but I was so light, people love doing that and watching me gone. So I put myself, I wrap myself around the pole and stuff. Mine was the metal, not down here though, because they get too hot. The metal slides, you throw sand on it and woo, and it's even faster if you throw snow on it.
Wow.
Your turn, John. What was your favorite?
The tire swing.
Tire swing.
Yep.
So the tire swing is the one where you could push it and it would go in all directions, right? It's not just back and forth.
Circles.
Yeah. I can see that. I dig that. Yeah, I would dig that.
I really like that one because I'd stand on it, and hold on to the chain for dear life, and my friends would just push me and spin me and all that. It was great.
Listen, dude, I remember being in elementary school though, and girls thought it was cool when we would jump out of the swing. I thought I was such a badass. I'd be like holding on to the chain, and I'm like, oh, Tarzan.
Yeah, yeah. Facebook user says wax paper.
Yes.
I don't know what that means. Wax,
Wax
paper?
paper. Yeah, you put the wax paper under your butt and you write it down. That was my Aunt Cindy that said that.
Well, who's got the time to bring wax paper to the park?
Yeah.
Some
Not in
people do
Florida,
that.
dude.
Yeah, you know, some people do, you know, weird
I'm like,
stuff.
hang on, guys. Let me get it out of my pocket. You know, the wax paper. I'm just carrying it around. Like,
Hanging over there.
We speaking of funny things to carry around, so you guys ever heard of Golden Corral? John, do you?
Yeah.
You remember that restaurant?
Yeah.
So Golden Corral and these all-you-can-eat buffets like Stacy's buffet. My grandma used to take us. My grandma used to line her purse with sandwich bags. And she would 100. And you met my grandmother, Mark.
Yes.
So you know.
Sweet
There was
woman.
some salmon patties coming home,
oh boy.
meatloaf. Like, if she didn't have to cook for a couple of days, she was good. But her food off the charts. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Off the charts.
I loved her food.
Yep. God rest her soul. My other grandmother is the reason I don't have any hair. She had a bionic arm and would be like, "Get over here." And you talked about a switch earlier. This woman would light you up. It didn't matter if you brought her, because that was the thing. Bring grandma a switch. You get grandma the switch. She didn't want you to bring the one that breaks in her hand. She wanted those green ones.
Well,
You know what I'm talking
hang on,
about?
Hang on. What's a switch?
Okay,
A
so
branch.
switch, a branch off a tree,
Okay.
real super thin, super thin. And the green ones, when you peel the leaves off of them, they're green underneath, right? And these things you know what a rat tail is on a towel? Like it's worse than
It's
that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, if my mom told us years after the fact, you know, when we were adults, if we would never have run the switch back, she would never have hit us with it. Well, then why the hell did you tell us to go get it and make us fear it? That's the reason why. But the one thing we did learn is never run from my mom. My mom wouldn't run or would not run after us.
No.
She would wait for us to come back home and then get us.
I thought she would just be like right behind you, like Jason.
No. I learned that, you know, growing up, it was easier to just hide stuff from her than and then after that it was like, oh, screw it, I'm just going to tell her what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then she just let us.
Yeah, I think once we were in high school, like I wanted to go to Mark's house because I could talk to his mom. I couldn't tell my parents anything. I was scared. I was not doing any of that. She'd be like, "Did you boys skip school today?" Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we skipped.
Do you need somebody to tell your the school that you were sick? Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And then
we were
Mark just
sick
did
an
it.
awful lot.
Yeah.
Wow, you had the cool mom.
Yes.
Mark's mom was the cool mom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mark's mom was the cool mom. Absolutely.
Yes. I'll admit that.
I in high school I used to cut class so much that literally school started in September. Like, true story, school started in September. I went the first day to get my schedule, and I didn't go back until I want to say Christmas.
Oh my God.
Right.
That looks like one of my schedules.
But the thing is, like, my high school had a campus, so I went to school every day. I hung out on campus. I just never went to class.
That was Mark.
Yeah. So my mom came up to parent-teacher conference during Christmas time, and she walks into my science class, which I had no idea was my science class. And the teacher takes one look at me and says, "I don't know who he is." My mom like flipped out. Let's just say I caught a beating in front of the principal.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Like, you can't do it nowadays, but
I'd go to school. I would wait for the last bell to ring, and then I would head back out to the parking lot and get in the vehicle and go do whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I showed at school. That's all that I was supposed to do. So I'll go, and people would give me gas money, and we'd go elsewhere.
Yeah. See, for me, it was kind of easy because the high school it was a campus, so there was a gate around the whole campus, and I knew where the hole was in the gate. So me and a bunch of friends would sneak out, and right outside the gate was the train. So we'd jump on the train, go to friends' houses, and ride all.
Yeah,
over.
our high school and middle school and primary school is literally in the middle of nowhere and down the road from the jail.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, was that jail always there though? Like
Yes.
when we were in school, I don't remember anybody ever
Yes.
talking about the jail.
I always visited my friend there. I always visited Mo there.
I remember at some point somebody had said, "Oh, did you know that there were people that escaped the jail down the road?" And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Wow.
I had
Yeah.
no clue. Yeah, I had no clue. I was like, I'm just over here minding my own business, and then, oh, did you not hear that people escaped from jail and they're right down the road from the school? And I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, the one that escaped when our kids was in school. I mean, that was school buses were late and all that other shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was ridiculous. But when we went, it wasn't late. I mean, we just went on with our stuff. Okay.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, if you see these people, just don't approach them. That was it. Like, hey,
Yeah, they weren't, real bad criminals. They done stupid things, but they weren't murderers or rapists or anything like that. So
that we know of.
no,
If you see the guys in the orange jumpsuits, stay away from them.
Those guys are not your friends.
Right.
So we talked about briefly, John, how we were punished. How about you? Because you were an only child.
He did tell you how he was punished. He got a beating right in front of the principal.
No, no, I'm just talking about in general. Besides, cutting class and that kind of stuff. Like when you got in trouble.
Yeah. Well, that was when I was older. I mean, when I was young, it was like, you're punished. Go to your room. You get no toys. Like I remember this one time I got punished real bad, and I can't tell you what it was for. Right. Like, I don't remember what it was for, but I remember I spent the whole freaking day on my bed doing absolutely zero. Right. And my mom all day was just wait till your father gets home. Wait till your father gets home, and
that was like the scariest thing that you ever wanted to hear.
Yeah. But if you knew my father is not imposing. Like you wouldn't be afraid of my father, so it's like, my dad was a nice guy, like he was great, but it's like that day I remember, like, all right, it's 6 o'clock at night and I'm still in my bed, like I'm still punished, and dad walks in the house and I hear him and my mom talking, and she's complaining about what I did or whatever, and that I spent the whole day in the room, and he comes in the room, walks in nicely, sits down on the bed next to me, and says, "What happened? What'd you do?" And I can't remember what I said, but I know I was crying, and it's just like those were the kind of punishments I got. I was just go to your room, sit in your bed, do absolutely nothing, and it was boring as hell.
Yeah.
No toys. I mean, nowadays it's like, all right, with my kids, I'll take away the games, I'll take away the Switch, or I'll take away, a phone. And they're like, all right, I'll just go watch TV. No, like,
I gotta tell you gotta unplug the entire internet, because if not,
I did that once.
Hey,
that's
hold
bad.
on.
Like,
See, if you unplug the internet, that's disturbing me. So no, I can't do that. When they were younger, I was trying to find ways of blocking their signal or whatever. They should come up with shit like that, but some of them don't have it. So,
well, I think they make an app now that you
Yeah.
have to put on the kids' phones and tablets and stuff that
Yep.
or you could switch it off, like they can't use it.
right.
it's great that they came out with it now that my kids are grown, because
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. See, I was going to be a smart ass when he said, something like, my parent or, your mom would say, wait until your dad got home. Well, I was going to say, well, I'd be waiting a long time, but, Oh,
Ouch.
That's dark.
yeah. Well, I have to think light on the subject because, my dad wasn't in my life from the age of 5 until, oh, wait a minute, he died at 13 when I was 13. So, I didn't really get to know him a whole lot. So trying to get a hold of my aunt who has videos of my father and stuff. And well, she doesn't want anything to do with us. So guess what? We don't get any of it.
Oh,
One of those things.
thanks for bringing me down. I was so high.
Don't worry. You can go smoke more.
No, I
Oh,
literally I don't smoke. I eat gummies. So anyway, about this beer, this is from Marker 48. It's absolutely fantastic. Anybody that's watching, it's called the Bluelicious Lightning. It is like blue Gatorade. It's a malt beverage containing 6% alcohol by volume.
I got an idea.
What kind of idea do you have, Mark?
You need to go talk to them.
Mark wants me to promote Marker 48 now, so I just did.
No, get paid for it. My God.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
no, not necessarily get paid, but see if they would sponsor us.
Let's see what we can come up with. I doubt that will ever happen.
Hey, anything's possible.
Now, Brian, you said you sell adult toys, right?
I do.
Are you considered like a salesman?
I am a salesman. I
So
gotta
then
pitch.
you'll
I gotta
have-
pitch it.
You'll have no problem selling the show and getting the beer on the show.
We're gonna have to.
Robert, how you doing?
Robert's a good dude. He is the Broken System podcast. If you
There
get
you
a
go.
chance to listen to the Broken System,
Did you
absolutely insane.
Did you listen to the newest one?
Mark, I'm there.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
I
not
got
gonna
it.
bring it up.
No, I mean,
it's really good. Really good.
I like the fact of some of the stuff that happened in that one. We got to hear the truth for once.
It's
I listened to it today. It was great.
It's definitely worth listening to. So absolutely
called?
put that. It's called the Broken System Podcast with Robert Palmer,
Broken System.
Yep. and it should say the story of DJ Ficky.
Yeah.
So,
We're
boys,
doing great tonight.
we've been live for about 47 minutes.
Yeah.
What else you want to talk about?
I don't know. Let's keep it going. Come on. Let's do it.
All right. Well, what other shit do you guys want to talk about?
How did you guys get started podcasting? Let's talk about this.
I was on. You've done Stephen Jarvis and Friends podcast.
Yeah,
you've been on his.
Yep.
I was on his for a while. I started off helping him, and me and him, I wanted something different than what he was doing all the time. So I was like, I was talking with Brian one day. I said, man, I'm thinking about starting one up, and maybe I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it. And he got off the phone with me, and then like 5 minutes later, he goes, "Do you want to start a podcast together?" I'm like, "Sure." I said, "Let's try to get this going." And that was in November. We didn't start until February. We wanted to make sure that we were doing stuff, get everything all together beforehand. And everything led to another. And we've been doing it for 5 months?
Yeah.
Somewhere
Yeah,
around
I
there.
think so. Now, my only thing is I always ask, are we going too fast and stuff right now? Because we're trying to get guests all the time, and I'm like, man, I think we need to calm it down some. I don't want to get burned out, and I don't want the people that are watching to get burned out, because I hate when it feels like an interview.
Well, sometimes you're going to get interviews. Sometimes you're not going to get that type. It just depends on the person too. It's not just one thing. I noticed some of them that we do, we could joke around with, and all the others. Some of them you don't know how to take, But so far we've been good at almost all of our interviews. Yeah, I think 99 point, of them it's been really good.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to turn it into an interview. I want it to be a session to where they just come on and just want to talk, about
Well,
whatever
that's
they want to talk about.
basically
shit.
Yeah.
Talk shit.
Exactly. See, originally we thought about just doing a forum, having people just come on and just talk with us,
Yeah.
and that doesn't seem to hit as easy. It's
The
easier to
open, the open mic, the
Yeah.
open cast.
Yeah.
that one's a little bit harder to get people to come on because people don't want to speak their minds or say something, and being on live, it's out there.
Right.
Maybe they're just not camera ready.
Maybe.
Like when we were talking with Alyssa, and all those people were bad mouthing her about her animal rescue.
Yeah.
But not a single one of them will come on here.
Yeah, they would post in the comments, but we invited them. We said, hey, we'll post the link. You can come on to the show. If you have something to say, we absolutely implore you to come on.
Yeah.
I should have
That's it.
posted. I should have posted it right there and said, "Okay, you want to come on? Come on," because Alyssa was ready. She was ready to debate, and I think that she's doing a good job at what she's doing, and a few other ones are doing good here too. Not just one rescue can be in this county. There's got to be more,
Sure.
but you got to learn to work together too, and not just do it one way.
Yep.
Right.
Everybody has their own way of doing stuff, and not everybody's perfect.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, you guys are doing something right because you have over 900 subs on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that one out. But Mark says that
Turkey.
we're popular in Turkey, and I don't understand that. I'm not Turkish. I don't have any family in Turkey.
I don't know. That's where most of our demographic comes from.
That's amazing. That's great because you said you guys have only been doing this for 5 months.
Yeah,
Yes.
since February 10th.
That's ridiculous. Like, and you have 925 subscribers. Like,
Yeah, so I mean, I know that we reach out to a lot of folks on TikTok, and I try to reach out to as many people as I possibly can on our Instagram. So, and I just shoot messages out all the time, and I'm just like, hey, listen, if you ever have an opportunity and you want to come on our show, we'd absolutely love to have you on and stuff like that. And I don't know if they're following the show. I don't know what's happening. But something is happening. So
It's slowly. I mean, just using TikTok alone, on the little stuff that we use it, we have over 1,000 people.
right.
And eventually I'll get better at using TikTok too. But we also need to make something for TikTok. We need to do a new trailer for YouTube, since I deleted that one. Because it had something to do with something that we don't talk about right now.
oh my goodness, Mark.
No, because it had the network on it, I deleted it. So because we didn't need it.
That's okay.
Yeah. So we're just gonna have to figure out how to grow from here, and without having the backing of the network. So
Right.
we'll whether it's finding our own niche or whatever. I think we're gonna be fine.
I still like Brian's idea by doing a live show from somewhere instead of always just doing it from our houses. Doing a live show from somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe one of the people that I know might let us do it at a comic book store.
Hey, there you go.
I mean, if that's something that I'll talk with him about, but I was going to bring that up later.
So that we've got a mutual friend that owns a bar and is also into cage fighting stuff. Just had a huge person at their place.
See, that would be great to do one right there and talk about the cage fighting while we're doing it.
Yep.
And then maybe try to get an interview with the cage fighters before and after or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be awesome. I mean, just other ideas that we have that can probably help. And there's we've been talking about a lot of different ideas. We just gotta get them moving.
And just keep begging people to come and watch our show.
Please. Yeah.
I mean, literally, like, I mean, my customers I get to talk to at work, I tell them, I'm like, hey, yeah, if you get a chance, I had one couple that's what they listen to podcasts. That's all they listen to. They're truck drivers. And they're like, yeah, we listen to podcasts all the time. So I'm like, oh, here's our podcast. Give us a listen.
Oh.
And I don't know if it's a visual thing or if I don't know if what our audio sounds like. I haven't really.
Our audio sounds just like the way we do.
Retarded.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Hey, what did I tell you? You can't use that word.
I'm sorry.
It's called.
I'm sorry.
Hey, it's called Biden. Get it right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh God.
So the one thing we try not to.
My daughter tells me that I'm not allowed to say that word. So I
Biden?
said, fine. I'm going to start telling. I told him, fine. I'm going to tell you stop being a Biden.
Oh, I thought the word you couldn't say was Biden. Okay.
Well, no, it's the same thing, But our one goal is not to talk about politics on here. That's
I
one
agree.
thing, because it'll get you in nothing but trouble, because you could have a voice out there for one thing, and then somebody could be pissed off and say, well, I don't like that, and get a bunch of people on you, and that, and what was the other? We try not to talk about religion, because
I was just going to ask, what about religion? Yeah.
it's the same concept,
Yeah.
You say one thing wrong, and again, we don't talk about anything to do with I think it's more political than anything, like transgenders and stuff like that.
LGBTQ LMNOP.
Yeah, something like that. We don't try to talk about that, because that also, again, will get us in trouble.
Yeah.
So we have a certain list that we try to go by. I mean, if somebody says something about the government, well, that's their own fault. They say something about something else, it's their own fault. It's not us talking about it, it's our guest, and that's it.
Mark's gonna have to figure out how to mute mics and stuff like that.
Oh, you can mute them. I mean, you can mute people on here.
Yeah.
There's a mute button right here. See, I just did it.
Did you mute me?
No, I muted him.
Me?
Oh,
Yeah, I muted John just to show my point. I should have muted you instead, but yeah.
yeah, you should have.
And I believe that you have the same. Yeah, he could do the same thing.
That's great.
You can mute yourself even.
Yeah.
So John, let's back up a little bit. You and your buddy came up with your podcast. When did you guys get started originally? When did you start?
February of 2020, or 2020. Like, it was like, I want to say 6 months before the quarantine, before the pandemic.
Okay.
So we started the show before it was cool to do a podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because everybody once COVID hit, that's what everybody started doing.
Yeah.
And it was simple to get. It was really easier to get interviews during COVID than anything else, because nobody was doing anything.
People still want to stay relevant. Yeah.
Right. And we realized real quick in the game that in order to build up viewership and build up our audience, that we needed to go live on socials, and so I think our first show was in April of that year. And so February, March, April. So 2-3 months after we started, we introduced a camera to the show, and yeah.
So you have a co-host anymore? I saw the one you sent me was you and your wife from yesterday.
Yeah. That's a long story. He works a job that he's not available all the time.
Okay.
He's a court officer, so he's not reliable on a weekly basis, and I try, like I was telling you earlier, I try to be like a real stickler when it comes to the show. Like, all right, you have to show up this day, this time, and we're gonna record an episode. and the Basement Surge is like, it's real structured. You know what I mean? Like I plan out episodes like 2 months in advance. Okay. Like I have planners here on my desk full of like stuff that I have planned for Surge, right? And like it with him, it was okay. I'll see what the wife says next week to see if I can do an episode, you know. And I was like, all right, I see how it is.
So he's a special guest appearance maker every once in a while.
Yeah, you know, when he's available. So
It is what it is. I mean, at least hopefully he'll come and get to be a part of the Surge.
Yeah,
I mean, this is something that you guys built.
Right. I think the most important thing is that the show is continuing, you know. It keeps going, and every week I'm kind of carrying the mantle, you know, with new guests, and it's funny because I try not to call them guests, you know, I call them co-hosts, you know.
Okay.
So
no, that's smart. Yeah.
Yeah. So every
you want to
week,
co-host the show with me?
You know, so you know, it's a lot of fun, and you know, I get to I have a group of guys that, you know, I came up with that I'm comfortable with all the time, you know, and I can literally call them up right now and say, hey, I need you to do an episode. I have an episode due tomorrow, and they'll be there. So it's great.
So if we ever get to a point where we're tired of doing the podcast, or if we get to a point where, hey, I can't show up, maybe it's time to call it. Maybe it's time to hang the hat up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or scale back.
I'm not saying no. My thing is, Mark, and that was where I was going with it. I don't want to quit or anything. I'm not trying to tell you I'm going to quit on you, but I feel like, listen, you haven't fired me yet, and I cuss like a sailor. So
yeah, I should have fired you last night.
You haven't cursed much. You haven't met my old co-host Frank. You haven't met him. You don't curse at all, my friend.
I mean, you know, we're not a PG-13 show.
Yeah.
You know, we.
I literally have it in the you know, the intro.
Yeah.
You know?
I used to do that too with my show. And you know what? I realized early on that, you know, Frank was the you know, outspoken, cursing, say whatever's on his mind kind of guy, the Howard Stern of podcasting. And, you know, I was the more reserved, bring it back to the topic, you know, let's talk about what's happening in the episode kind of person, you know, so we balanced each other off pretty well.
Gotcha. I think that's what we do, right, Mark? I mean, if I start to go on my tangent, you're like, hey, shut up.
No, it's like this. When he starts asking questions and stuff, it's like this. Okay. Because he'll start asking questions, and he does it good. You know, he's got a question after a question after a question, and because it comes right off the top, you know, he listens.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I don't want to interrupt him while he's in that role too.
Right.
So here's my only big thing with that is I don't like dead air. Like when we're doing the show, I don't want to have dead air.
No, you don't want to have too much dead air. I mean, a second or two is fine, but not, you know, more than that. Because, you know, you're not going to always remember a question right off the top of your head, but, you know, you do a good job at that.
I did. I recorded an episode of Basement Surge tonight with the movie producer that I was telling you about. And it's funny because I've noticed this about myself recently. The past couple times I've recorded an episode, like I'll ask them a question and they'll be responding. And then like, as they're responding, I'll think of a great question, right? To ask them counter what their answer is, right? By the time they're done talking, I forgot my question.
I do that. Actually, I do that.
So mine is different because like when they're talking, they hit at something like, you know, they may say, well, yes. And then I've got this new production that I'm doing next month. And then now I want to know more. Right. Now I'm intrigued. Like hello, tell me more. You can't leave me hanging there. Like
Lauren Murray Taylor, you know, she she's going to be doing a new movie, but couldn't tell us what it was about. And it's like, you know,
And questions. That's it. I had a bunch of questions. I'm like, okay, now what do I do? What do I ask now?
See, with her, you should have did like hot potato, cold potato. You know, like, am I hot? Like, you know, ask her.
Oh, I get what you're saying. So let me know if I'm warm
Yeah.
or cold. Yeah. Oh, that would have been really cool. So
yeah, we didn't even think of that part.
all right. So let's see. What else? What other topics do we want to talk about, boys? Anything else? Got anything else? Wrestling, Mark. I kicked you off wrestling tonight, so I'm sorry you didn't get to watch.
I'll watch it tomorrow. I'll watch it
All
tomorrow.
right. The new wrestling is shit anyway. So
I watch all different types. I've been watching since I was 7 years old.
yeah.
I went to WrestleMania 3, 24.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, I've just been a big fan, and I watch, and it's not just WWE. I watch all different types. My wife hates it.
My wife hates it too.
I can literally turn on TV just about every day of the week now and watch wrestling.
Nice. Wow. I used to be huge into wrestling during the Attitude Era. You know.
Yeah, you see, I was made fun of because I liked wrestling before it was, you know, cool.
Yeah. And I watched it before the Attitude Era, you know, like I back in the early 90s, late 80s, I loved Hulk Hogan, Jake the Snake Roberts, you know, and when I was like when I was like 6 or 7 years old, Jake the Snake did a show here at the church where he wrestled some indie guys, you know, and it was great. And I met him and he signed something for me, you know, and it was great, you know. And then when I got older, I think I was like 16 or 17 years old, and I got to go to Monday Night Raw. I won tickets from a radio show.
That's cool.
And, you know, so I got to go to Raw, and that was fun. But, you know, past Raw, like I've never been to WrestleMania. I would love to go to WrestleMania.
Those are awesome. And you get to see stuff that, you know, most people love to see. In the last one, WrestleMania 24, I took my daughter, and she used to love wrestling. Watching the Undertaker's entrance alone is worth the whole damn ticket.
Yeah.
And it was, oh man, it was the arena, the way that it you just soak it in.
Yeah.
And my daughter was telling everybody how the matches were going to end and all that, and she got it correct.
Really?
Yeah.
She's been watching that long with her dad, so yeah, I can see that.
But
you know,
then,
my girls didn't. My girls never got into it like that, you know. And we went to back in the day. I've taken them to WCW, and we went to SmackDown.
yeah, when it was taped.
Yeah. So, but yeah, ever since then, like they don't care. They're like, oh, why do you watch this?
Yeah. My daughters are the same way about baseball. They're like, what the hell? You know, they hate it. I love baseball.
I'm not a baseball fan.
My daughter loves softball. She'll watch baseball. She'll watch football. Just, you know, my other two kids, my son doesn't watch any of that. So I'm like, I did something wrong. Oh,
I know how you feel, because it was like a couple of weeks ago. Like I have the MLB All Access online, you know, so I can watch any game I want. And you know, the other day, like I've been trying to get my son to sit down and watch a game with me, and he refuses. Like I put the game on, and he leaves the room. I'm like, come on.
He's already done with it. He's like, yeah.
The only time I got my son to watch a game was when he was little. I would turn it on right about bedtime, because you know, it was preseason. Yeah. So that they come on all weird hours, and I'm watching it, and he goes, "Mom, I'm watching football with Dad, so I can't go to bed right now." And he couldn't even tell you what was going on, but he told my wife
that. Just an excuse to stay up later.
Yep.
Listen, I don't know what is going on with me now recently, but golf. Like
I love golf.
I'm literally digging it right now. Like it's great.
I play golf. I have golf clubs. I have a whole set. Like I've been playing it for over 10 years, and I love golf.
And there's a great game going on, you know, right now. So
yeah,
I can only play mini golf and shut up.
It's because he's small. You did it to yourself. You
I
set
know.
yourself up
I
for that
know.
one.
I know. I know. I did.
Oh my goodness. All right, boys.
You guys are
Well, I've got to go to work tomorrow at some
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
It's
I-
Saturday tomorrow, damn it.
Dude, that, I'm going to tell you, we're going to have the best day of the week on Saturday. I'm going to end up selling 5 or 6 units.
you know what tomorrow is, right?
Yes, it's the barbecue
Yes.
for Deputy Lahara.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll plug that. You want to plug that, Mark?
I was going to let you.
All right,
try to
so
get salesman.
for our viewers out there, if you had not heard, Deputy Lahara, who is also a school resource officer with Citrus County Sheriff's Office, was badly injured in a car accident when he was hit.
Oh, no.
There is a benefit hosted by Leon McClellan, sponsored by a lot of really great people. Seafood Cellar, Lollygaggers, Breakfast Station. Citrus County Sheriff's Office, Florida Sheriff's Association, a lot of really great people. And tomorrow is the day that you can go and donate money for the Lahara family to help Andy continue his journey in healing. You can get yourself a brisket, a Boston butt, or some ribs. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be some of the best barbecue that you'll ever find out about.
Nice.
Follow Leon McClellan on Facebook for more information, or Citrus County Sheriff's Office. CCS.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this on there. I'm gonna shrink it down and put it on there in the morning, and tag them in it.
Perfect. Yep,
So
pickup
hopefully
is tomorrow, so let's get it, guys. Go out and show support.
Awesome.
And then Tuesday we have Matt and Andy coming on.
Super excited for these guys to be
what is it? Retro
Rental Review. That's another great podcast, John.
Yes.
If you get a chance.
Yeah, and we're gonna tell you what we had planned for that on Tuesday.
We're still going to do it.
Well, yeah, we're still doing it, but we're gonna do it a different one, a little bit different.
That's fine.
Anyways, and then we're gonna have our first credits. You know, we're gonna roll the credits on that one.
Mark created a credits at the end of the podcast finally.
Yes.
So hopefully that goes well.
I know. It's my first time trying that one, so I mean, it's better than nothing.
And if you want to have your pockets picked in the not so distant future, come back next week and we're going to let you know who we're going to have on the show.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, not next week.
We're going to let you know who we're going to have on the show. But make sure that you have your pockets buttoned, zipped, whatever.
Oh,
yeah, this guy is really good, and
yeah,
he'll explain to you what everything is. So come back next week and you'll see. Well, you'll know who it is. Not you won't see it until the end of the month.
John, what do you have coming up for your viewers?
Oh, you know, honestly, I don't even know if I could announce it yet.
That's okay.
Up here in New York, we have a really famous radio DJ, Paul Cubby Bryant, is going to be coming on the show next week, and I'm going to be sitting down with him, talking to him about what it's like working on the radio, because he's worked for radio stations like KTU and Z100 up here in New York. And right now he's at 106.7 Light FM. And, you know, it's Paul Cubby Bryant. He's a kind of a rock star here in my neighborhood, you know, so it's kind of a big deal for me. And he's like a superstar. So I'm kind of, you know, jazzed about it. But
good.
You know, so next week I'm sitting down with him, which means probably another 2 weeks you guys will be hearing the episode. You know, other than that, next week, this Tuesday, I have Kenny Scott Guffey coming out with he's a movie producer. He's worked on movies, on horror movies, on a remake of Night of the Living Dead. And
Nice.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I knew
so,
that name. I knew that name.
yeah, so he's doing great work. So I'm gonna, I'm releasing that on Tuesday. So that's this week's episode.
Cool.
And those are your live shows are on Tuesdays. Is that correct?
No, my episodes drop on Tuesdays,
Okay.
and then my live shows are on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Facebook. So yeah, like the easiest way to watch and consume everything that is the Basement Surge is on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed over there, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button.
That's right.
Yeah, I
And
think
while
there's-
you're over there checking out Basement Surge, please do the same for us. Hit that like button, hit the share, hit the subscribe
we say it every week,
every
Or-
week.
every show, every week. It's right there in the corner, right there. It says like and share.
He has subscribe right there. Boom.
Yeah, actually, yes, he does.
What's the bell for?
Who's
What's the bell for?
Or as my co-host would say, ring that motherfucking bell on YouTube.
Ring that bell. That's badass. I like that. We got to get a bell now.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
Sorry, got to get one of those.
Don't they
All
have
right,
an
boys.
app for it?
Anybody else have anything to say?
Nope.
Well, from us here at Talking Shit, I'm Brian,
I'm Mark,
and
and this is John, and we say I do. Have a good night, everyone.